Hey, Kevin here with Notes on Iowa. Today we're talking about part 3, day 2 of my 2021 walk across Iowa to follow the 1835 Iowa Dragoons. And on this day, I headed from the Robert Mulroney Recreation Area just to the south east of Emmitsburg up through Iowa's most perhaps Irish town and on to a small town called Osgood, just nestled along the east bank of the West Fork of the Des Moines River. So come along with me as we take a look at part 3, day 2 of the 2021 walk across Iowa. On part 3, day 2, I got started right along the Des Moines River at the Robert Mulroney Recreation Area. And this is a great little spot, especially for bird hunting, good habitat there. Apparently some good fishing as well across this old railroad bridge. Took a look at the West Fork of the Des Moines River. As I headed up, this was one of the last days I was going to be along the river, so pretty special there. Obviously getting started pretty early once again to try to avoid the heat. Continued to be pretty hot, and I got started on Bushy Bayou Road, which sounds more Louisiana than Iowa, but I was skirting the Bushy Bayou Recreation Area pretty early in the morning. There were some farms mixed in like this silo, and as I was heading by, one of the things that stood out to me is the really unique design, and these are things that people that built these silos put on there almost as a signature. And this one, I happened to get the great moment while the moon was setting, able to get that before heading back on down the road. Saw a variety of different wildlife early this morning. A few deer jumped across my path, lots of birds in the early morning, as well as some other small mammals and some bugs as I made my way just kind of slowly making progress to Emmitsburg. It was a pretty quiet Sunday morning. Not expecting any bad weather or anything, but the rains from the previous day had really done a number on my feet. I had developed a large blister about 5-6 inches long right on the side of my right foot, and that was a real problem throughout the day. I did stop at the Bushy Bayou Recreation Area, throw the drone up to take a look at this Level B service road you can see in the video that then connects into Highway 4, which pushes north into Emmitsburg, which is where eventually I turned and headed up. Did see somebody had shot that sign and got the sun going through there. Also took a look at this cornfield. One of the things that was amazing this week is after the prolonged drought we had been in, we'd finally started to get some rain, and the rain allowed the corn to really shoot up, several feet in some places throughout the week. You'd see knee-high by the 4th of July, and it certainly was, as this was the last week of June 2021 when I was out on the road on this part. Eventually I headed onto Highway 4, crossed over the Des Moines River again for the second time already in the day, crossing over the West Fork. Took a look at the river before heading into Emmitsburg. Large Catholic cemetery on the south side of town. One of the things that stood out to me about Emmitsburg was a very Irish community. It started as an Irish colony. If you go downtown here where I'm at, you can see this statue of Robert Emmet, who is an Irish nationalist patriot. Also a piece of the Blarney Stone brought by somebody who shares a maiden name with my grandmother, who's also Irish and from Ireland. Also in Emmitsburg, you can see Dragoon Trail marker, number 13, the final one I would see on my journey north, which was really significant. That's out by Five Island Lake, a small body of water to the north of town. In the day I went there, somebody had draped all sorts of clothes on it, but I was able to get a shot of it, even though if you looked closely, you could see maybe there's a bikini strap in the top corner. I did fly the drone in Emmitsburg, took a look a little bit around town. One of the things that when we think about the different kind of Irish heritage things, aside from the markers and some of that kind of stuff, there are also a lot of businesses with Irish names or things that kind of make a play on Irish heritage, which I thought was pretty interesting. And again, because maybe that's my own heritage, I found that more interesting than some other people might. But I passed through Emmitsburg. I did stop to work on my feet a little bit. Did use some of my skills I learned at North Iowa Community College's athletic prevention of injuries class and wrapped up my feet before visiting the site of the Old Town, which is actually in the floodplain down along the Des Moines River, and they have this nice plaque. It's in somebody's yard, so please be respectful if you visit there. Before I passed Iowa Lakes Community College Emmitsburg campus on my way out of town, passing up between the Prairie Gold Wildlife Area, which here is on my right, and then it's like called the End of the Road Habitat area, which is on my left. And I spent the rest of the day just passing up through here. I did wrap my feet too tight and cut off circulation of my foot, so I had to spend a little bit of time working on that. But ultimately made it up to Osgood, called it a day, and was really happy to be one day closer to the end. With only 2 days to go, I'd made it over 325 miles and was getting really close to my goal. So on part 3, day 2, despite some challenges from sore, blistered feet and kind of trying to figure some of that stuff out, really interesting day. Passing through Emmitsburg, saw some cool things related to Irish heritage in Iowa, which as somebody with that in my own background, I found really interesting. As well as just another day closer to finishing out my 2021 walk across Iowa. As we finished the day, we were up over about 325 miles, headed towards 371 in all, and really a positive day despite some of the challenges. I appreciate all the feedback people have given me. People make this project better every day, and I really appreciate the different contributions in terms of sources, insights, some of that stuff. So if you have that, pass it along. I appreciate you taking the time to reach out, comment on this different stuff, as well as just watching the videos and reading the articles. Thanks.
There's a lot of good history about Iowa. A lot of people don't even know about it.